Well, the economy is shrinking, inflation just won't go away, and trade war talk is still going on, but somehow the stock market is still up. But what should we make of all this, I should say? Well, today on Smart Money, financial expert Brian Mirau is here to help us make sense of the confusion and share some smart opportunities. Brian, thanks so much for joining us. And with so many mixed signals about the health of our economy, how do you help retirees and pre-retirees create a reliable income stream that's designed to last?
Well, Nicole, it all starts with consistency. We help retirees build income plans that aren't too dependent on market performance. And that often means using a mix of guaranteed income sources, investment income, and tax planning. And when you have a structured, predictable income plan, the headlines don't have to shake up your financial confidence.
Well, we hear so much about the risk in the economy like this, but what are some of the opportunities?
Well, there's definitely opportunities out there. For instance, high yield savings accounts are paying over 5% right now, which is great for emergency savings. And market volatility may also open the door for repositioning investments or doing what we call tax smart Roth conversions. The key is working with a strategy and not necessarily reacting emotionally.
Well, speaking of reacting emotionally, how can planning with a professional help settle nerves?
Well, Nicole, when people don't have a plan, uncertainty feels overwhelming. But when you know that you've addressed the key risk like inflation, taxes, and market drops, it gives you a peace of mind. A professional can help you create that roadmap and, more importantly, help keep you focused when emotions start to take over.
Well, is there anything retirees or pre-retirees should avoid doing in today's economy?
Absolutely. One of the biggest mistakes is going to cash out of fear. While that may feel safe, it can actually erode purchasing power over time due to inflation. And also, you want to avoid making big changes without a plan. Knee-jerk reactions often do more harm than they do good.
Okay, so what would you say to someone who's thinking, I'm just going to wait until things calm down before I make changes to my plan?
Well, I'd say this can cost you. The truth is the market and the economy are always sending mixed signals. Waiting for perfect clarity means you might miss your window. Instead, focus on building a plan that adapts to change so that you're not reacting to the moment but preparing for the long term. You just can't wait for all the lights to turn green before you leave town.
Well, Brian, what should someone do if they're ready to take that next step?
Well, the economy's unpredictable and waiting to take action could cost you. A solid plan is the key to staying on track and managing risk and uncovering opportunities. And if you're unsure about your financial future, now's the time to act. And here's what we do. If you give us a call, we'll review your savings and determine, if it's enough to support the retirement that you want. We'll identify threats like inflation, market downturns, and rising expenses. And we'll also look at ways to create consistent income so you can feel more confident and build yourself a strategy that helps maintain your current lifestyle, even as costs continue to increase. This financial review is completely free, and for a limited time, we're also going to offer a complimentary copy of my book, Smart Money for the Backside of Life, to anybody that wants to schedule a visit. And it's packed with practical ideas and real stories to help you retire smarter and more securely. And there's no obligation, but getting started could make all the difference in how confident you feel about the future.
Well, you can call 915-233-2904 today or visit their website. Brian, thank you as always for your insight.
Nicole, thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.